and there's I'm sure you read it. They also ventured into the complaints of corruption at Fort Hare University, and you would have seen recently that one of the forensic lawyers, attorneys who was arrested, who had subsequently now been released from the case. I think charges were withdrawn. Had complained about the conduct of the political killing stars team.
Yeah, I did hear about that. And of course, when there are allegations, those allegations are being investigated. I'm aware. General Sibia did make me aware that they are investigating such allegations. And of course, we will then wait for the investigation and see what comes out. But what I was told was that as the team arrived there, they worked with the security manager of the university, like we do whenever there is violence, whatever in the university. The entry there, the person that you work with is normally the security manager of the institution, which in this case, they did the same as they arrived at Fort Hare. And I understand from the brief that I get that they trusted and worked with the security manager. They drank tea, they ate with him, he assisted them where he can, voluntarily so, but they continued with their investigation. And as the case unravels going forward, their breakthrough in those murder cases turn out to be the same person that is next door to them that was assisting them. The same team, they didn't say we're drinking tea with you yesterday, or you assisted me with a fare to go home, whatever. They arrested him for where they find him to be wrong. So I'm aware of those.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose if you're investigating a particular crime, and you come across other crimes being committed, then as a police officer, you're duty bound to pursue that alleged crime and also to investigate it. So, point being, in this case, we know that there were some murders that took place there in the Eastern Cape at Fort Hare. But I suppose the background to that was the corruption that was uncovered.
That is correct, yes. There was corruption at the university, which was being investigated for quite some time. And when they were investigating these matters, it led them to the corruption, and they find quite a lot of other people that were involved. And I won't know the details of everybody who was arrested and charged, but I know that uncovered and unraveled that there is a number of people involved, and they charged those people and brought them to book.
Now, just to quickly get through these facts, the political killing stars team became a national project. It was sourced or resourced and funded from the budget, your budget, as the National Commissioner. And the life of that task team was extended from time to time, most recently until, I think, March 2026.
Yes, the funding of the political killing task team, whether it is in working in KwaZulu-Natal or is assisting Eastern Cape or is assisting Gauteng, that budget is being paid from national, from myself and the CFO, and yeah, that's how we have been funding the political killings task team all along. And well, there were stories that there are monies from Secret Service account that have been used and so on, but I'm aware that there is no such. All monies that were used are monies for open account. But of course, if there are members from that environment of undercover operations working with the team, they will not use the open account. They will use the monies from their account where they come from. But the political task team in its entirety, they use the budget from national open account in terms of be it vehicles, resources, any other, and SNT and accommodation all the way.
Okay. Now, we also know that that you, as the National Commissioner, together with your team, you would have reported to this interministerial committee that was initially appointed, established by the President. You would report to them on I think twice a year, and have meetings with them. That interministerial committee, police, defense, justice and constitution development, state security, defense, yeah, about 5 or 6 ministers.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, indeed, we were reporting to the IMC on a quarterly basis. But of course, those meetings end up not being sustained. But every quarter we would, the ministers would come together, and the coordinator of the PKTT, which is Lieutenant General Kumalo, and the PC will prepare a report for us as a steering committee. We will brief the ministers, and the ministers will brief the nation. I must say, at the beginning, when the team started, it started from 2018. I think we gave it 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. And then in that course of 6 months, we realized that all the cases where they made success or they managed to make a breakthrough, cases have been postponed beyond the 6 months. And then we changed it to 1 year. Again, cases were not tried, but all postponed beyond the 12 months. Until we realized that this is a problem. And at some point, we said no. When we give press briefing, the ministers must announce that the team is permanent so that we can get cases to start being trialed. And that trick, indeed, it did work, and cases started being trialed.
But I mean, the team itself was not permanently appointed as a unit or a structure or a division within your organogram, your organizational structure.
That's correct, Honorable Chair. It's not a structured unit. It is just a task team where members will be called. You work for 2 or 3 months, and you will go back home. Another one comes, and sometimes those that have cases, they might, if their case get postponed, they might go back and come back as and when those cases come forward. So it was a task team. It was never a unit, a structured unit that is on a structure of subs, no.
The extension of the life of the unit, the task team, from time to time, would that have first been discussed or consulted with the interministerial committee, or was that a decision taken by you and the leader or the group leader of the task team?
It was, the Honorable Chair, motivated by, of course, the leader of the task team, and it will be brought to us, and will motivate. Before then, we'll motivate to the then National Commissioner, and he will then consider it. And of course, yeah, the team never had a very smooth sail, because you would know that from financial point of view, Financial people say it can't be a team forever. It must either be no more there or it must become a unit. But one would explain to them that if you take the history of this team into consideration, you can't make it a unit, because if it's a unit, means it's a localized or provincialized unit in KZN. And we already come from there. The previous team, we saw it failed because it get entangled with local issues. So we had to now and then convince the leadership or the then National Commissioner that it continues. And even now under myself, there were those ups and downs where at some point people say, no, this team must either be done away with or become a unit. But if one understands the work they do and the impact that normal, ordinary detectives have tried this, have traveled this, and they could not make any breakthrough. So we need the team. So that's how the team kept on then surviving.
And by extending from time to time the life of this task team, 6 months to a year and so on, and rotating the membership of the team, making sure that cases don't collapse because the team must continue and prosecutions continue. Those decisions sounds to me like they were all made for operational reasons, and they were ultimately your responsibility.
Yeah, that is correct. And yes, we were, myself and of course the team, I was making those decisions as we go along.
And your meetings with the interministerial committee, those meetings were really report back meetings to inform them of progress, how you're doing, whether it in fact is still necessary to keep this team and to keep them together, and I suppose to report to them on success or lack of success. Would that be the purpose of those meetings?
Yeah, the purpose was that we report to them progress that has been made. Of course, where we need assistance or decisions or normally assistance from them, we will then indicate as such. Like at some point we did indicate that the cases of the team are all over and the postponement affect the team quite a lot with longer periods. We suggested that shouldn't the Department of Justice consider a special court where they can centralize this case. So that request was escalated to the IMC and for consideration by the relevant ministers. And I think they came to give feedback that no, there is a problem with that, and they couldn't operationalize that suggestion.
So I take it that the whole idea behind the interministerial committee was that there was a recognition that this task team will have to be a dedicated team, but it will have to be populated with individual dedicated personnel, which will have to be drawn from the various departments, of course, which were politically headed by ministers. So, for example, a prosecutor, it's the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development. It may even be some military expert, or maybe you need some military equipment, so the Minister of Defense was there, and so on. So the different disciplines were there, and you go to these meetings. If you needed assistance, help, then you could appeal to them and say, we need you, or the state security agency, we need intelligence or intelligence reinforcement. That minister would be there, speak to the DG in that department, allocate someone maybe to work on that team. Was that more or less the rationale behind this committee?
Yeah, that's correct, Honorable Chairperson. That was the idea, so that the assistance we get much more is accessible and quicker. Like I was giving also the example of the centralization of the court. There was a court was even identified. I think it was Saudi Court in the south of Durban. So, which the then Minister of Justice said, you'll try and see if they can make it happen between him and the DG Justice. But I think in terms of law, they they find some hiccups, and that couldn't succeed. But indeed, yes, the IMC will brief them in terms of the work of the team, the successes, where are the problems, those that we have fixed, we fixed. And if there is anything that is beyond the DGs, will then be escalated to the IMC. But it was mostly report back, and the IMC will then report back to the nation in terms of what the team is doing.
So, General, your overall assessment, you've mentioned it several times, was that it was, one, necessary to establish such a task team because the political killings, especially in KZN, was out of control, and so this team had to be established. And since its establishment in 2018, it has been a success. Is that the sum total of your evidence?
Yeah, if I sum it up, yes. Cases that were not resolved, this team was able to resolve them. And the team, yeah, I would say it was a success. They arrested a lot of people for murder and related cases.
Just to, sorry, General, just to assist you again, if you want to highlight anything, we've got it in your statement. You can look at from page 15. You deal with the success of the PKTT. There's some tables there with statistics, and you deal with it up to page 18, paragraph 33.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. As of February 2025, the team had 612 dockets that has been allocated to the team, and of these 600 dockets, as per Table 1, 125 of them were still under investigation. 9 of them were unfounded. Unfounded is like a false case, in other words. Or the evidence disclosed that there is no offense committed. And 10 cases were pending the DPP's decision, whether to prosecute or not. 114 cases were before various stages in court processes. 57 of them were withdrawn for various reasons, and 297 of them were finalized. The outcomes highlight both complexity and challenges inherent in prosecuting politically related cases. Specifically regarding the politically related cases, the following statistics can be highlighted. on the successes of the 333 dockets. With regard to murder, 171 dockets were for murder cases, with a total of 173 victims among those killed. And of these, 59 were local government or councillors, 58 were political party members, 31 were political party office bearers, and 21 were officials. Officials is your administrative officials. This illustrates the prevalence of violence targeting individuals holding public office or political office, the various affiliations.
Was it mostly the councillor, local councillors and the officials? Were they mainly municipal officials?
Yes, they were mostly municipal officials, be it your municipal manager or supply chain manager or the CFO or a traffic official in the municipality. That's what the official refers. But in terms of councillors, of course, it refers to councillors of the municipality. And of course, the killings, some were within the parties, political parties. Some will be from party to party, from one party to another party.
Yeah. So we know that we have municipal or local government elections next year in 2026, and given this pattern of killings, especially in KZN, but also elsewhere in the country, of local councillors and municipal officials, one would expect that this team would now remain on high alert, even higher alert with the elections coming in 2026.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes, we'll expect that the presence of the team, of course, the people knows the existence of the team, so it assists with reduction in the political-related matters. It's presence.
A deterrent.
Yeah, it deter. The presence of the team do deter the further killings. They still do happen, but quite minimal.
So you go on leave at the end of December 2024, happily in the knowledge that this team is still in operation. Would that be right? You heard them?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'll deal that on paragraph 34 of my statement that I went on leave from the 30th of December 2024 to the 13th of January 2025. And of course, the minister was aware of the leave and he did approve it, that I would be out of office from the 30th. Okay,
so we're going to deal with the Minister's directive now, which is our second theme. We deal with it from page 18 through to 23 and following. So, if I may just ask a few related questions. Or was there a meeting with the Interministerial Committee in 2024?
as far as I remember, the last record we could find, I think, is somewhere September
2023.
2023, yes.
That was the last meeting.
Yeah, that was the last IMC. Well, there would have been briefings, of course, to the former Minister of Police by the team to update him. And yeah, the IMC, no, there was never one.
Okay. And up until then, up until the last meeting in 2023, September, the Minister of Police then was Minister Cele.
That is correct, yes. Yeah, at some point I know he was briefed after the IMC of 2023. And yeah, at some point I think somewhere around April, March 2024, I think March 17 also, the team did brief the Minister of Police together with the President in Durban. President happened to be there. He didn't come specifically for that. He happened to be in Durban, and the Minister requested that they brief himself and the team.
So the Minister then, Cele, and our President, they were last briefed about the workings of the political killing stars team in March or so of 2024.
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
Now, that wouldn't have been an IMC briefing. That was just a briefing to the Minister and the President.
That is correct. That is not an IMC. Yeah. Since the I think September 2023, I think that was the last IMC briefing.
So who would have been present at that briefing in March of 2024? This is now before the elections. When were the elections? April, May.
Yeah, in that March 2024, the IMC would have been still in existence. They could have been briefed. But of course, in this current administration, there was never an IMC for this specific function.
So at that March meeting, would Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi have been there? What is in our Lieutenant Brigadier Khumalo, Lieutenant General Khumalo, if he was a Lieutenant General by then? And we know that Khumalo was the project leader. And was Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi always sort of at the head of this political killing stars team, even when he became provincial commissioner of KZN?
Yeah, even when he became a provincial commissioner, the team was reporting, of course, to the coordinator, which is Lieutenant General Khumalo, but also reporting to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. When we briefed the president, unfortunately I didn't check whether he was there, but I know General Khumalo was there.
Okay. And after the briefing or at the briefing, there were no issues raised by the president or by Minister Cele about the continued existence of the team, the need to keep the team together, or maybe let me ask a simpler question: what was their reaction to the report back to them?
You know, they were quite satisfied with the work of the team, so there was no concerns raised.
Okay. So the elections happen, and a lot of other things happen at the elections. And one of the things that happened after the elections is the appointment of Minister Mkhunu. You do know him? Or you? Yeah.
Yeah, no, correct. I do. Yes, I do know him. Yes, he was appointed minister after the elections of May last year. And yes, he was appointed Minister of Police. I think he took office somewhere in July. And then, yeah, we started working with him.
What was your reaction when he was appointed? Because he had previously been the Minister of Water and Sanitation.
Well, my impression or reaction, I never had any problem. Remember, we do not have a choice. We work with whoever. So we welcomed him in SAPS. And I was quite happy to work with him. I didn't have any problem at all.
And you would also, I suppose, have known him as the Premier of KZN when he was Premier.
Yeah, no, I knew him for quite long. I knew him when he was Premier and, yeah, before that. So,
okay. So after his appointment in July 2024, would you say you met with him regularly, or did you meet with him only when it was necessary? I'm sure you had to, you and your various heads of divisions and the provincial commissioners would have had to brief him or debrief him about what to expect now that he's become a minister.
That's correct, Honorable Chair. We did what we normally do. We will call all the executive members, the members of the executive management, including provincial commissioners, divisional commissioners, and the deputies, and we brief him about the departments, and provincial commissioners will also have the opportunity to brief him about each province, and thereafter will then come to directorates. Of course, the briefing doesn't happen in one day. It takes a couple of days, weeks, and months, and we brief him about various directorates, and that's exactly what we did. But of course, we did not finish those briefings.
Did you brief him on any of the special projects, which would have included political killings task team?
Well, we just told him about his existence. We were still going to brief him about the specific matter of the political killings task team. So we start briefing him about directorates, but of course he will now and then, before we brief him, he will come up with, he will draw an agenda to say he wants the specific matters, and we'll brief him according to the agenda that he provides. But of course I will always ask him that we need to brief him with those matters that are outstanding. For example, in a specific directorate, let's say Vispol, he might choose to be briefed on, let's say, Central Firearm Registry, and we'll brief him on that. On CI, he'll choose maybe, let's say, matters of be it IT, whatever. But then the rest might be left outstanding. But we'll always advise him that we need to complete the briefings. Briefing about CI, briefing about political task team. It is one of those briefings that were outstanding that were not yet done, but he did promise that he'll make time for those briefings.
So you briefed him also about the political killings task team, although it may have been incomplete, but it was raised with him.
Yeah, no, it was raised with him. There's quite a number of other areas which we haven't finished briefing him about.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's a massive.
It's a massive organization.
Massive department, massive organization. maybe I'm not qualified to answer this question, but it must be the largest or one of the largest departments in the public administration.
It is quite so, Honorable Chair.
Can you please come back to me and complete your presentation about the task team?
Well, no. Yeah, the only time he was briefed about the task team, it was after the 31st of January. Before that, he was never briefed about political killing task team. Now, 31st of December 2024. Sorry, pardon me, Honorable Chair.
Yeah.
So before that, he was never briefed on the PKTT.
Now, we know. General, I'm sure by now you must be very familiar with the 31 December 2024 directive. So I'm not sure whether you want to look at it again. It's in volume 2. Volume 2 after the blue folder. Sorry, volume 3. And it's at page 36. SFM 3, dated and signed 31 December 2024. And I'm not sure whether you're familiar with the minister's signature, but that appears or purports to be his signature. You see that on page 37 at the back?
I see that, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. It's dated the 31st. Did you get it on the 31st?
Yeah, Honorable Chair, I was on leave. Actually, my last working day was the Saturday, the 28th of December.
And on the, just to pause there, on the 28th, you actually saw them. You were in the company of the minister.
Yeah, I was.
And Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. You were together.
Yeah, correct.
What was that occasion?
The location we were at, we were at Escaleni in Richards Bay on the 28th of December at a funeral of a member of the police there. We spent the day together and we parted. It was a Saturday. We parted that day.
I thought you partied. You parted.
No, we not dying, but we left. We left each other last on Saturday, the 28th of December. When I came back, and I told him that now I'm going to rest for a week or so.
You were off until the 14th of January.
That is correct. I think the 13th of.
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, until the 13th of January, Honorable Chair.
So how did you get this directive? How did you learn about it?
Somewhere I think I saw something on WhatsApp, but I didn't really not read it. And eventually I was phoned by one of the officials at the office. I think it must be Major General Sebola or Letoko, Brigadier Letoko, about the directive. And I'm talking under correction, I think the acting National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Msigidi, also might have called. And I look at it, I says, no. Well, when I look at it, the directive talks about that there should be reports prepared. So rather you should prepare those reports and leave me alone for now.
So when did you first have sight of this directive? You read the whole directive.
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
No,
Well, for me, it was
when did you
quite.
first read it?
Pardon me, Honorable Chair.
When did you first read the whole directive? Or is it a case that you now leave, please don't worry me or bother me with this? I'm trying to enjoy my leave. I have a heavy year ahead of me.
Well, when I read it, it was quite, to me, a surprise and shocking. Firstly, how did it come about? That was the main issue. And why disbandment of a team on the 31st of 31st of December. There's nothing wrong in sending it on that date, but the surprising part was, we spent almost the whole week with the minister, and he never uttered a word about his unhappiness about the team. Actually, before we went to the funeral at Eskaweni, we had a funeral, I think, 2-3 days ago at Mpumalanga in Hammersdale together. And from there, we moved to Eskaweni. Nobody said anything. Minister never said anything about there is unhappiness about the team or is about to disband the team whatsoever. Nothing. Not even to mention. So that's why when I saw the letter, I said, well, let me enjoy my leave and get away from this letter. I'll see it when I come back. Whether when I get there they've done something about it or not, it's fine. But that's how I concluded.
Now, the directive deals with three, or gives instructions. It gives instructions in relation to three matters. The one is the filling of posts in the intelligence division. The second one is the ports of entry. And the third one is the political killings task team. So, did you not think it was important enough that you yourself, even though you're on leave and even though you said, look, I'll deal with this when I get back from my leave, didn't you think it was important or urgent enough for you to engage with the minister and say, for example, in relation to the political killings task team, but how can you do this? I mean, we were just together the other day. We also briefed you on the political task team when you became the new minister. You never uttered a word. You never questioned the existence of the team. Why would you? And besides, this team is doing good work. We must maintain this team, not disestablish the team.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it necessary, Honorable Chair, at that moment. I was with the minister a few days ago. He saw no need to talk to me. And 2-3 days, he sent this letter. So I just decided, let me enjoy my leave. This I'm not going to attend.
But you weren't quite allowed to enjoy leave because you got some calls, amongst others, from the same young man who ran into your office years before. And he's phoning you and he say, Commissioner, what is this? You got a call from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi.
Yeah, no, that's true, Honorable Chair. He did call me. I told him, I don't know about the letter. I don't know where this is coming from. And just give me space. Let me have my time a bit. Yeah, that's how I handle it.
So yeah, okay. Who was then appointed by you as the acting national commissioner?
It was Lieutenant General Musikidi.
Okay. So at paragraph 45 of your statement, you said you received a WhatsApp message from Major General Sibola regarding the directive, and that was on the 2nd. And you also got this call from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi.
That is correct, Honorable Chair. Yeah, Major General Sibola did send me a WhatsApp. From there, received a call from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi on the same day, 2nd of January, and well, he told me that there is a letter in the media flying around about the disbandment, which he wanted to know whether I know about it. I told him I don't know anything about it, and I made it clear that I'm not involved in it, and that the minister had not sought any advice from me, so I've got no idea what is this all about, and that's how we ended it up. Lieutenant General Msigidi might also have called, I can't remember, and I also told her, no, I know nothing, and for now I'm not going to do anything, I'm still on leave. And whether they do something about it, that is fine. If they don't, because the letter indicated the first report is due, I think, by the 20th of January. Yeah. So it was at liberty to them whether they do something or they wait for me.
Major General Sibola, who is that?
Major General Sibola is the executive manager in my office.
The executive manager?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
And would Major General Sibola be responsible for writing your emails and your letters and receiving your emails and letters?
Yes, Honorable Chair, Major General Sibola and Brigadier Letoko, they are also in my office. In this case, if I remember well, I think it was Brigadier Letoko who disseminated the directive to Lieutenant General Sibia, and I think Mr. Gidi also. Just check.
Would it be correct or fair to say that if you receive a communication from Major General Sibola out of your office, your National Commissioner's office, that one can accept or assume that such a communication is authorized by the National Commissioner?
That is correct, Honorable Chair. Yes, it can be accepted that way.
And just tell us briefly, who is Major General Rabi, and what was his job, his function in your office?
Major General Rabi is head of strategic management at the South African Police Service.
Now, when you did get back to the office was it on the 14th, 15th?
When I came back on the 14th of January, I think I went on with the work that I had to do. I think I spent the day in Lebombo border post that day. I flew directly there. You would remember that's the time when there were elections in Mozambique and there was instability. There was a problem of people coming to South Africa. So I spent the day there, and in the afternoon I came back. And as I arrived at the office, General Sibia did come to me with a directive that here is the directive of the minister, and it requires immediate implementation. He already had a letter drafted that he sought my signature to sign.
Sorry, General.
Chair, next time we must be informed when there is going to be this operation,
It's a certain,
so that we must know that if we are safe or not. Yeah, it's hanging over our heads here, so we must be informed in time, so that we are aware.
I think we
We need.
must apologize,
Mkhwanazi starting.
hello, honorable members.
May I proceed, Chair?
Yes, no, but we must apologize for this. I don't know who is the person responsible for doing this. They may be trying to help us in the meeting, but they could have done it when we broke for lunch. I think it would have been better than to do it now. It has noble intentions, but can be very irritating and disruptive. Thank you so much. You can proceed, Senior Counsel.
Thank you, General. I think you started narrating a visit by Lieutenant General Sabia to your office. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct, Honorable
Yeah.
Chairperson.
And I think you deal with that at paragraphs. It starts at 46. Yeah, the fifth.
Yes, Honorable Chair, as I said, as I returned on the 14th of January, after I came back from Mpumalanga, General Sabia, and I saw that he talked about the immediate disbandment, and I indicated to him that I am not in agreement with this directive of immediate disbandment, if ever there should be disbandment, because firstly, I don't know what are the reasons for the disbandment of the team. And I further said he must go see Major General Rabi, because I said if ever we disband the team, which that time we didn't know why, it should be a matter of the team should be phased out in a wind-down approach. And he should consult Major General Ravi to assist him with that. And he left. And the next day, he returned again in the afternoon. That is paragraph 49. He found me with Major General Sebola and with a revised plan where he was assisted by Ravi. And I scanned the letter that he was having, I think it's SM4 on the bundle. And somewhere I picked up that there is still, I must have catch a phrase of immediate disbandment again. So I then never read the whole letter or plan. I said to him, no, rather take your letter and leave the matter with me. I will compile the report that the minister require. And then he left. Then thereafter, I then spoke to Lieutenant General Kumalo by then to say, well, there is this letter which he is aware of, and if he can draft something that is not about immediate disbandment of the team, but a wind down, even though I still will ask the minister, why is this team being disbanded? Because we did not really understand the reasons why. And thereafter, I did engage the minister on the phone, and we spoke about, when I mentioned about this one, he said, no, there is a report that is required on that day, so I must just bring the report. And I further said, we need to talk about this matter. And at the same time, paragraph 51, there were some matters that were already in the media by then about crime intelligence, which the minister did indicate that whether I've seen those matters, and amongst those matters were matters of appointments at crime intelligence of 2 brigadiers, the security clearance of Lieutenant General Khumalo, the murder of Cindy Somakaka, and others. And he did indicate to me that he's thinking of appointing a senior counsel to look or investigate these matters. And then I reminded the minister on the phone that, does he still remember that I told him that we have never briefed him completely on crime intelligence as a division. And on the division visible policing, we briefed him partially on other matters. I think on the agenda he had a central firearm registry, we briefed him on that and other matters, and not everything else. And if when we were briefing him about the Directorate of Visible Policing, if he allowed that we brief him about the whole directorate, this matter of border police, he shouldn't have raised it because it falls under the Directorate Visible Policing, and it should have been part of the briefing, which he would have given guidance and or directives in that regard, which he missed that opportunity. And also, I reminded him that, remember, at some point I asked you that we brief you, and for crime intelligence alone, I said you need 2 full days to be briefed up to date. Otherwise, if you don't do that, on the street, you're going to be poisoned. And once you are poisoned, it's not easy to bring you back and give you a full briefing and so that you are understanding. And of course, he asked whether all these matters that are out in the media, including the killing of Cindy Somakaka, whether it's also part of the briefing, which I did indicate to say, yes, it is. And the fact that you know about more or less who killed Cindy Somakaka is about the same PKTT. They are the ones that is one of the dockets, I think, that they make a breakthrough in 2018 after they were established under the leadership of the then Brigadier Khumalo and the Provincial Commissioner of KZN. So I said, no, what you see, what you read in the media is what they uncovered. So then he agreed to the briefing that, okay, brief me then on the 16th. And paragraph 52, on the 16th of January, we, of course, me and himself, the minister, we went to Putadichava for a funeral of a member. And when we come back that afternoon, we held a meeting at the minister's official residence, and myself and Kumal, we provided the minister with a briefing on the matters that he raised. And General Kumar.
Sorry, General, so what is, to interrupt,
Senior Counsel, there is a request from the technical team, General, that you withdraw a bit from, because it's like your voice is so vibrant that it blasts. If you may please withdraw a bit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. So on the 16th, we briefed then the Minister, myself, and General Khumalo. And General Khumalo did brief him on some other matters of syndicates that involves the Big Five, that then he alleged that my deputy is involved in that regard. And when it comes to the PKTT, then the Minister did indicate that there is a provision for the report that I must give him, and so on that due date I must give the report. And so we never go deeper into the briefing on the PKTT, and he was briefed on all these other matters.
so can we just ask about Lieutenant General Sabia? What is his role in all of this? Before he comes to your office on the 15th of January 2025, do you know of him ever playing a role in the task team or being involved in or with the task team at all?
No, no, Lieutenant General Sibe was not involved in the political or the PKTT. Going back to 2018, when we established this team, when the team started working and they started resolving cases, there was quite a number of people that would wanted to know about the team, including they wanted to be briefed about what the team is doing. So a decision was taken that we limit people that can be briefed about the team, and also the ordinary operational structures that we have in the police. We have a structure called the National Joints structure. We have a structure called the National Crime Combating Forum, which is mostly of police. So the work of the PKTT was not being discussed in those forums because of the sensitive nature of it, and also the fact that a lot of people were wanting progress, especially politicians in KZN. Almost every third one wanted to know what the team is doing. So we kept the work of the team very minimal to a very few people. They were not briefing anybody actually. The only briefing we would give was to the IMC, and the IMC will brief the nation. Because those that wanted these briefings, it was a bit of a problem to actually brief them. So even General Sibia, he wasn't involved. I know he attended one briefing of the team where I went with him, myself and Minister Kele. We went to Durban to get a briefing from the team. Other than that, he wouldn't know much about the establishment and how it works and so on. So, yeah.
Why didn't you tell or ask Lieutenant General Sabia, but what are you doing here in my office about this matter? You have never been, or you're not involved in it. Why are you here?
Yeah, well, I take it that because he's head of investigation, so that's why he came with this letter of a plan. But then after the 14 and the 15, after those meetings, I did indicate to him that leave the matter, don't write anything, because he said, well, he was of the view that the disbandment should happen immediately. And I said, no. I think that will be responsible to do that. That's why he even explained to me that, no, the way it is done correct in the directive, because it's done like how the Scorpions was disbanded, because he was a member of the Scorpions. And I asked him, how was the Scorpions disbanded? And he said to me, they were called one by one with their dockets into an office by police leadership, and when they arrived, they were told they sign for your docket, you hand them over, and they give you your new station where you are going to station, be it a unit or a police station or a branch, and then you leave. And then he said, this directive is in line with that, so it's quite the right way of doing it. And I indicated to him that I'm not those people, and I'm not going to be responsible like those people. Firstly, I still don't know why is this thing happening. It looks like when I don't know. But which he said he doesn't know also why it is being disbanded. And then I said, no. Write it my way. Go and write. The first day I said, go and write the directive the way I say it must be phased-out approach, take into account cases that are on, witnesses that are in witness protection. Let's be responsible, which the second day he failed, he couldn't do. That's when I said, no, then leave this thing and I will do it myself. Hence, I phoned Khumalo. I explained the same way I explained to General Sibia. Khumalo was able to understand what I mean when I say in a phase-out approach. And he then submitted a report which I edited and then sent to the minister. I think that report is...
So you did send a report on the 22nd of January. You were required to give it to the minister on the 20th. It's SFM 6 at page 48 in volume 2 of the bundle. $275.
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
So if we can just fast forward that. So you say receipt of your letter dated 31 December 2024 is hereby acknowledged. The contents of the letter were noted, and as directed by the Minister, the due date for submission of the required report is 20th January 2025. And then you deliver this on the 22nd, and can you read from the bottom of page 73, paragraph 3.11, your conclusion? Journalist up on the, it's up on the screen.
Okay. Yeah, on 3.11, the task team has undeniably achieved and far exceeded the purpose for which it was established. No other task team in South Africa has achieved these successes, nor has been able to investigate and ensure successful prosecution of the perpetrators of politically motivated murders. The directive by the minister is of Police to disband the National Task Team has been noted. The initial objective and directive by President has been achieved with a noticeable degrees of political related killings in KwaZulu-Natal as a result of the National Task Team's intervention and relentless pursuit of its mandate. The degrees of political related the South African Police Service remains responsible for finalization of those dockets in the process of the task team, as well as the finalization of dockets which are currently before court. The following steps are being taken to wind down the task team without compromising pending investigations or court processes. Stakeholder engagement to be conducted with the other external role players in the task team, especially the NPA, who have dedicated capacity of prosecutors working with the team. The 128 dockets which are under investigation and allocated to the National Task Team will be retained by the task team. An investigation will be finalized. An audit will be done on those dockets still under investigation in order to establish which dockets can be returned to station of origin or allocated to other investigating units within SAPS. No new dockets will be allocated to the task team. The 115 case dockets, which are currently pending at court, will be retained by the National Task Team until finalization in order to avoid challenges during court processes which may result in charges being withdrawn against some of the accused, leading to unnecessary civil claims. These possible challenges might include unsuccessful prosecution as a result of new investigating officers not familiar with evidence in the dockets, witnesses not willing to cooperate and testify due to lack of trust to new investigators, further investigations still outstanding, and attend to prosecutors' queries will be negatively affected. Personnel task team. The scaling down of the team will depend on the 115 case dockets that are currently pending at court, with most of the court days in 2025. It is anticipated that the team will complete the work before end of 2025. However, the seriousness of cases and the processes at court will indicate or determine the course of action. The multidisciplinary investigative approach, in brackets, analysis-led and prosecutor-guided investigation, applied by the National Task Team will be adopted and used to serve as a benchmark for the realignment of contract killings and organized crime investigations. Further directives will be issued in this regard. Progress will be reported and signed by myself 22nd of January 2025. Comments and space for Minister to give directive and place for his signature.
Thank you, General. So, did you hear back from the Minister about your proposal of the 22nd of January?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. No, I did not hear anything from the Minister on this proposal.
And from the letter itself, although you talk about winding down, and you actually talk about the dockets now being placed in some other dedicated team, you certainly are not agreeable to the immediate disestablishment of the team.
Yeah, that is correct, Honorable Chair. You'll recall, well, firstly, I don't agree with the disbandment. I don't know why it has been done. And however, because this directive is not a request, it's something that I must do. And I don't know what is behind this doing. And I felt it, well, something that I must do, but not the way he wanted it to be done, because that was just a devastating way of doing things. And I wanted that, well, if ever it is done, let it be done in a very responsible way. Hence, I proposed this winding down with the expectation that you'll say yes or you'll say no. And yeah, eventually I didn't get any feedback. But of course, all the time one had suspicion as to why is this thing done. Even the way it was done, you'd recall, as I said, 31st of December, there's nothing wrong to do it that way, but how do you, because if you read the directive, you talk about the task team not being relevant anymore after his assessment. Well, if he did assessment, he did it with who and where? To say the task team is no more relevant doesn't add value to policing in South Africa. I mean, we know that is not true, and hence I made sure every time me and him talk about this matter of task team, like in meetings of days to come, I would always ask him, can you tell us what is the reason for disbanding this task team? And unfortunately, he wouldn't give those reasons.
So yeah, the letter has a few mixed messages, but the one thing you are clear about is you praise or highlight the success of this team and how they've conducted themselves. But the other obvious thing is also you don't say to the minister, no, I don't agree with you. Can we discuss this? Maybe that would have been a shorter response. I'm in a respectful disagreement with you. Can we not meet to discuss this matter? That's not what your letter says, obviously.
Yeah, no, the letter doesn't say that, but obviously on the 14, 15, when we spoke on the phone, I mentioned that I want us to discuss this, which he agreed that no, let's also discuss it with other matters on the 16th. And on the 16th, introduce the topic as to, let's discuss the disbandment, why disbandment, and he cut short the matter to say, no, there is a report required on that, so submit the report by the due date.
Can I now direct your attention to paragraph 100? Can you go to volume 2, or I'll ask for it to go up on the screen? But for Honourable Chair and members, honourable members, it's the affidavit. It's Annexure 2 to the affidavit you placed before the Commission on page 33, paragraph 111. Volume 2, the first blue folder, it's SFM1. Paragraph 111.
That is paragraph 111, you say.
So did you, you said,
Yeah, I said, Honorable Chair, I said on that statement that given the fact that the Minister was instructing, not soliciting our views on the disbandment of the PKTT, I deem it necessary to speak to the President about the issue. And I spoke to the President on the 1st of February 2025. And during that meeting, I mentioned the Minister's directive to disband such a successful team, and the President told me that he would speak to the Minister. Of course, in our discussion, I explained to him that I don't know why is the team being disbanded, and if ever it is, because it is a directive, it's not a request, at least it should be a process of winding down the team and not the abrupt or immediate disbandment. So that's what I said to the President.
did you, General, did you meet with the President specifically on this matter, or did you raise it in the context also of other matters, and it was opportune for you to also raise this issue of the task team?
No, I did want to meet him specifically just for this one matter of the task team.
Is this your Waterkloof meeting?
Pardon me?
Is this, was this meeting at Waterkloof?
Yeah, it was at the Waterkloof Air Force Base, correct.
Okay. What did you tell the President? What did you inform the President about?
As I explained, Honorable Chair, I did say to the President, you know that this team, I reminded him that this is the team that briefed you at in March, just before the election, and is a successful team that is bringing down political killings and is doing well in the province of KZN. And of course, I reminded him about the Fort Hare matter, which he knows very well. And I told him that, yes, I received a directive that the team should be disbanded, and I don't know why. If ever it is done, Mr. President, I would rather prefer it be done in a very responsible way, in a phased-out approach, which he agreed that, well, he also don't know, but if ever it is done, what I'm suggesting makes sense. and he said he will speak to the minister.
Did you get any impression, or was it your impression that the president knew about the directive at all? What impression did he give you when you mentioned it to him?
No, the impression was he didn't know about the matter. Of course, I don't expect him to know. It's a much more operational matter, I would think.
So what was your what was his reaction when you told him? And what was the outcome of your discussion?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. As I said, well, he seems to be surprised when he heard that, because I reminded him that the team that we briefed in Durban that is quite successful in these matters of political killings, and the team that did work in Fort Hare and it's been disbanded. He was taken aback, sort of. And hence I said, I know it's not a matter for him, for his decision, but however, I'm requesting that if the minister still proceed with this disbandment, as it is a directive to me, it's not a request, it should be, we should wind down the team, which he said, well, he will speak to the minister. He also don't know, and he don't know why it's been disbanded, but he agreed that if ever it is done, my proposal makes sense. And that's how we ended our meeting.
So again, even at that point, your proposal was a winding down as opposed to an immediate termination or disestablishment of the team.
The proposal still that time, it was that we do a winding down, if ever we do, even though we don't know why we are doing it.
And of course, a winding down could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be until after the local government elections next year, which may well be the case because you've now agreed a budget for the task team to continue until, I think, March next year.
That is correct, yes. The winding down might take longer. It might take 1 year, it might take 2 years, it might take quite long, depending on the work of the team.
So what you're saying is that a smart way of disagreeing. You didn't say no, you just said, okay, no, maybe, yes.
Well, what was behind that was, the problem was, one did not understand why is this happening and the manner in which it was done. There was just suspicion all along, but we didn't know what actually is behind, what was behind.
But what now fuels that suspicion is, yes, you mentioned it to the president. What was that, 1 February? Yeah, 1st of February. The president said, I'll speak to the minister. You don't hear again after that from the president?
Yeah, no, I didn't hear that from the president until I think we heard from the minister in the portfolio committee of the.
But you do say at paragraph 112 of the same affidavit that at a later stage, the president informed me that he did discuss the issue with the minister. He did not inform me of the details of his discussion.
Yeah, later, I don't know whether it was before the 5th of March portfolio committee or after, but there was an opportunity where we met on other matters, and he did indicate to me that, no, he did speak to the minister about the matter of the task team.
Okay.
But I don't know the details, of course.
So the next time it wasn't the next theme we're moving to is the parliamentary police portfolio committee meeting, which was held on the 5th of March. That was an online meeting. You recall that meeting?
Yeah, that is correct, Honorable Chair.
And the political killings task team was on the agenda, and you had to report on it. And that is also the meeting where Lieutenant General Khumalo had given the report on the progress made by the task team and the whole winding down process. You recall that meeting?
That is correct, Honorable Chair. Yes, we had a meeting, a portfolio committee meeting, and in attendance I was there, and Lieutenant General Khumalo and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, both deputy ministers and the Minister of Police, and of course other officials were part of that meeting. And amongst the agenda for the portfolio committee was a matter of the political killings task team, which I introduced the presentation, and Lieutenant General Khumalo did the presentation, which is attached as FM8.
So in that meeting, in summary, I think we did spend a bit of time with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. So, Honourable Chair, Honourable Committee members, you would be familiar with what happened in that meeting. But in summary, Lieutenant General Khumalo explained the performance of the task team, and then he informed the committee that there was a plan to wind down the task team.
Yeah, that is correct. He presented the proposal that we discussed, that yes, we proposed that the winding down of the team, and with proposals to say maybe in that winding down, some of the dockets can be taken to the provincial head office of KwaZulu-Natal, and where there is a murder and robbery unit, and the members of KwaZulu-Natal can form part of that murder and robbery unit, and it can be a nucleus for establishment of the murder and robbery unit. So that is the presentation that we gave to the portfolio committee.
General, so at that meeting, you never expressly told the portfolio committee in the presence of the minister that you did not disagree. You did not agree with the directive.
No, we did not tell them that we don't agree with the directive, but we presented the work of the task team with a view to convince them that the task team is necessary, and it needs to be there by presenting the work of the team and the fact that the team is still having work to do. So that's all we presented.
At that meeting, I want to refer you to page, it's in the third volume, it starts at 176. This is the minister addressing the meeting. of the transcript, it's volume. Honourable Chair and honourable members, it's volume 3. SFM 10, which starts at page 123, and the Minister is speaking from 176. And the relevant part we want to refer you to is at 187.
Okay. Through you, Honourable Chair, you say I should start reading where it says Minister of Police up to.
Sorry, General.
Yeah, I was asking through you, Honourable Chair, whether you say I must read from page 176.
No, I want to just refer you to page 187 at line 20. Can you read from line 20 the where it start, or maybe start from line 18. Have you got 187 now?
Yeah, I do have a page.
So line 18, so you can't just make a sweeping statement and say is all political. It needs to be analyzed properly and defined properly from time to time. But those aside, and then just read from there onward.
Okay, so it says, so you can't just make a sweeping statement and say it is all political. It needs to be analyzed properly and defined properly from time to time. But those aside, I'm saying the team was established for a particular purpose. There needed to be a time frame, and there wasn't any time frame. And we have discussed the matter with the President of the Republic, because while it is not a presidential task team, it was his initiative to do so, but it became an administerial committee in practice, and therefore we have had discussion with the President of the Republic, and we are in agreement that we can look into the matter the way that we have looked at it currently.
So the Minister appears to want to justify that decision, defend the decision, and then he says, because while it was not a presidential task team, it was his initiative to do so, but it became an administrative committee in practice. And therefore we had a discussion with the President, and we are in agreement that we can look into the matter the way we have looked at it currently. And the current position was clearly what he said in his letter to you, that he wants the team to be disbanded or disestablished.
That is correct, Honourable Chair.
Just so that we get these two other matters out of the way, nothing was said about nothing was said about the ports of entry or the not filling any of the posts in intelligence. The other two parts of the letter.
No, they were not on the agenda, Honourable Chair. They were not on the agenda of the Portfolio Committee.
Honourable Chair, you're indicating to me. It's 4 o'clock.
You to say it is now 16 hours, we can break for tea. Yeah, it's tea this time. So, honorable members, let's break for tea, and then we will come back 20 minutes later. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the end of the second round. Thank you so much. It was very short, no?
The second round was very short.
Okay. No, thank you so much, honorable members.